Australia just got its latest reliability data, and the results are brutal, in the best possible way. 10 cars scored so high that the message to buyers was simple: buy one of these and stop worrying. We are talking real owners, real kilometres, real problems. Or in this case, almost none of them. No press cars, no manufacturer spin, no 30-minute test drive with a salesperson in the passenger seat. Just years of ownership data from the people who actually live with these cars. And if you're about to spend $30, $40, or even $50,000 on your next vehicle, this list could save you from an expensive mistake. Let us count them down. Number 10, the 2026 Mazda 3. Criminally underrated, and the data just confirmed what Mazda owners have known for years. The Mazda 3 is one of the most overlooked cars in its class, and one of the most rewarding to own. You can get into one from around $30,000 drive away, and it does not feel like a $30,000 car. Owners consistently describe the interior as premium, almost luxury level, and that is not an accident. Mazda has been deliberately building upmarket for years, while everyone else raced to the bottom. The engine you want for long-term peace of mind is the naturally aspirated 2.5-litre, not the turbo. It is smooth, it is proven, and it sips around 6 litres per 100 kilometres in real-world driving. And here is the detail that separates Mazda from almost every rival in the segment: no CVT. While the rest of the class crammed in a continuously variable transmission to chase economy numbers on a brochure, Mazda kept a traditional geared automatic. CVTs have been one of the most common complaints in modern cars for a decade. Mazda simply did not go there. It carries a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, so you are not just getting reliability, you are getting one of the safest small cars on the road at the same time. In the latest owner reliability data, it scored 82 out of 100. What this means for your wallet: under $30,000, with a real automatic and top safety scores, the Mazda 3 gives you a near-luxury cabin at an economy car cost of ownership. No CVT means no $5,000 transmission surprise at 120,000 kilometres. Number 9, the 2026 Kia Cerato. Boring on paper, and that is exactly why it belongs here. The Cerato does nothing flashy, and Australians have quietly made it one of the most dependable small cars you can buy. It starts under $30,000 drive away, and the headline is the warranty. 7 years, unlimited kilometres, with capped price servicing that tells you the cost of every scheduled visit before you ever hand over the keys.
That is not marketing. That is Kia putting its money where its mouth is. And you do not offer 7 years on a car you expect to break. The 2-litre engine is naturally aspirated, uncomplicated, and matched to a conventional automatic, not a dual clutch that jerks in traffic. Owners report exactly the kind of ownership you want. Nothing happens. It just starts, drives, and gets serviced. It holds a 5-star ANCAP rating, and it scored 84 out of 100 for reliability. What this means for your wallet: a 7-year warranty completely changes the maths on a small car. You are covered from the showroom to 140,000 kilometres of driving, and capped price servicing means no nasty surprises at the counter. This is the lowest anxiety purchase on the entire list so far. Number 8, the 2026 Hyundai i30. The car that half of Australia learned to drive in, and it has only got tougher.
The i30 has been a top seller here for years, and reliability is the reason it keeps its buyers. It starts in the low 30s, drive away, and Hyundai tuned this car specifically for Australian roads, our coarse chip highways, and our broken country tarmac. That local suspension work is a genuine engineering effort, not a sticker. The pick for longevity is again the naturally aspirated petrol with the torque converter automatic, the simple combination that just keeps working. Around 7 litres per 100 kilometres, cheap to insure, and every mechanic in the country knows the car inside out. Parts are everywhere, and they are affordable, which matters more to your total cost than almost anything on the spec sheet. 5-star ANCAP, and a reliability score of 85 out of 100. What this means for your wallet: cheap parts, universal servicing knowledge, and a body tuned for our roads means the i30 ages slowly and cheaply. And there is a quiet Australian truth hiding in these first three. In a market where a new dual-cab ute or a big SUV can now cost $60,000 or $70,000, these small, sensible cars have become the smartest money on the road. They are the cars that do not punish you for buying them. The Cerato and the i30 in particular have something the premium brands cannot buy: a servicing network that reaches every regional town, technicians who have seen every fault 1,000 times, and parts that sit on a shelf down the road rather than on a boat from Europe. That is what real-world reliability actually looks like once the warranty is gone. It is not just how rarely the car breaks, it is how cheap and how painless it is to fix when it finally does. The Mazda 3 adds the feel-good factor of a cabin that shames cars twice its price. And all three share the same refusal to gamble on fragile, unproven technology just to win a fuel economy number in a brochure. None of them will turn heads at the lights. All of them will still be starting, first time, every morning, long after the flashier choices are sitting in a workshop with a $5,000 quote. And that quiet dependability is worth more every year, as repair labour rates climb and the cost of a single major failure on a complex car keeps rising. 3 cars in, and a pattern is already screaming at us. The best scores are going to the cars that kept it simple instead of chasing complexity. And coming up at number 5, a car with all-wheel drive on every single trim for the price most brands charge just for the option. Number 7, the 2026 Lexus ES Hybrid. Quiet, Toyota reliable underneath, and right now the dealers are motivated. Here is the important context first. The reliability picture on this car is built on years of the outgoing generation, tens of thousands of real owners, not a brand new redesign. And that is the whole point. This car has had every bug found and every quirk sorted across a long production run. The nickel metal hydride hybrid battery in these Lexus and Toyota systems has a documented track record of lasting well past 15 years. The cabin is what owners call a leather-lined quiet room, with highway refinement that shames cars costing twice as much. It drinks under 5 litres per 100 kilometres, which is remarkable for a car this size and this comfortable. 5-star ANCAP, and a reliability score of 88 out of 100 across its entire run. What this means for your wallet. Lexus depreciation hits hardest in the first 3 years, so let someone else take that hit. Buy the proven one. Get a car that will run 15 years on basic maintenance, and use the arrival of the newer model as leverage on price. Number 6, the 2026 Mazda CX-5. The default reliable family SUV in this country, and for good reason. The CX-5 has been one of Australia's best-selling SUVs for years, and it earned that spot the hard way by simply not braking. Priced from the mid-30s drive away, it once again does the thing that defines this whole list: no CVT, a conventional automatic and a proven petrol engine, the combination that keeps the CX-5 out of the workshop. Around 7.5 litres per 100 kilometres, a cabin that punches well above its price, and the kind of steering and ride that make owners forgive its slightly smaller boot. 5-star ANCAP, and a reliability score of 88 out of 100. What this means for your wallet. A mainstream SUV price with a near-premium feel and a bulletproof drivetrain. This is the SUV you buy when you want it to just work for a decade. Number 5, the 2026 Subaru Forester. Standard all-wheel drive on every trim, and Subaru keeps landing at the top of the reliability and satisfaction surveys year after year. Try to find another all-wheel drive car at this price with this kind of reliability score, and you will struggle because it barely exists. The Forester gives you Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive as standard, not an upgrade, not a box you tick, standard on the cheapest model in the range. That matters enormously in a country of gravel roads, wet mountain passes, and long wet season drives. The Boxer engine and the improved body structure make it tighter and quieter than the ones that came before. The EyeSight safety system finally sorted the phantom braking that annoyed earlier owners, and current drivers say it works exactly as it should. Around 7.5 litres per 100 kilometres with all-wheel drive is a genuinely good result. 5-star ANCAP and a reliability score of 90 out of 100. What this means for your wallet. If you live anywhere with real weather, the Forester deletes the $2,000 to $4,000 all-wheel drive upcharge that most rivals demand. It is baked into the base price. And there is a reason Subaru inspires the kind of loyalty most brands only dream about. Owners do not just tolerate their Foresters, they keep them for a decade and then buy another one. Because the car earns trust on the days that matter, the flooded causeway, the icy morning, the loose gravel track to the campsite. That reputation props up resale in a way the spec sheet cannot capture. Buy a Forester and the market will still want it from you in 8 years' time. It is worth pausing on how rare this middle stretch of the list really is. 4 cars deep, and we have a small car, a family SUV, an adventure wagon, and a hybrid legend, all scoring in the high 80s and low 90s, all from brands that decided proven beats impressive. It is the kind of confidence you cannot fake and cannot discount your way into. But the top 3 are where the numbers stop being merely good and start being almost unbelievable. And the car sitting at number 1 scored so high that it is, on paper, close to a perfect vehicle. Stay with me, because that final stretch is worth every second. Number 4, the 2026 Toyota Corolla Hybrid. 50 years, millions of cars, and it keeps selling because it keeps working. When the average new car in Australia is pushing $50,000, a Corolla in the low 30s drive away is not a compromise. It is a rational financial decision the new car market would rather you did not make. Here is the engineering detail that actually matters. Toyota builds these engines to resist the carbon buildup on the intake valves that plagues so many modern direct injection motors, one of the most common long-term complaints out there. The hybrid uses a planetary gear set, not a belt CVT, sipping around 4 litres per 100 kilometres. Owners call it what it is, a no-nonsense daily driver that clears 200,000 kilometres on oil changes and basic servicing. 5-star ANCAP and the reliability score of 91 out of 100. What this means for your wallet. Cheap to buy, cheaper to run, and a resale value that stays strong for years. Insurance is cheap, parts are everywhere, and every mechanic can service it. The Corolla is a financial cheat code. Number 3, the 2026 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. The best-selling vehicle in the country, and the reliability data explains exactly why people wait months to get one. The RAV4 Hybrid is so in demand in Australia that used examples have at times sold for close to new money, which almost never happens, and it happens because the ownership experience is close to flawless. The hybrid system uses the same planetary gear set technology found in millions upon millions of Toyota hybrids worldwide, so nothing here is experimental. Toyota did not reinvent anything. They took what already worked across a decade and dialed it in. Around 4.5 to 5 litres per 100 kilometres from a roomy family SUV is the number that sells it, along with available all-wheel drive for the buyers who need it. Owners report the same thing over and over. No drama, no surprise repair bills, no reason to visit the workshop between services. 5-star ANCAP and a reliability score of 94 out of 100. What this means for your wallet. Half the fuel bill of a comparable petrol SUV, legendary resale that protects your money, and a service network in every town in the country. This is the safest large purchase most families will ever make. Number 2. The 2026 Lexus NX Hybrid. This is where reliability stops being about saving money and starts being about buying genuine luxury without the genuine luxury headaches. The NX shares its bones and its hybrid heart with the Toyota underneath, which means you get the plush cabin, the badge, and the quiet, but the running costs and the dependability of a Toyota. That is a combination European rivals simply cannot offer at this level. Owners of German luxury SUVs brace for $2,000 to $4,000 a year in maintenance once the warranty ends. NX owners report oil changes, brakes, tyres, and very little else. It sips under 5.5 litres per 100 kilometres for a premium SUV, carries a 5-star ANCAP rating, and scored 96 out of 100 for reliability. When you realize it is a Toyota hybrid in a tailored suit, that number makes complete sense. What this means for your wallet: you get the luxury experience and you skip the luxury repair bills. Over 5 years, the ownership cost gap between this and a German rival is staggering, and the NX holds its value far better on the way out.
Number 1. The 2026 Toyota Camry Hybrid. 99 out of 100. Scores like that almost never happen, and this is the most reliable car on the entire list, and it is not close. Here is why that 99 matters. The hybrid system uses the same proven planetary gear set as the RAV4 and the Corolla, with millions of trouble-free kilometers behind it. Toyota did not chase a headline, they perfected the thing that already works. Around 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers from a full-size, comfortable sedan is genuinely exceptional. Toyota's safety sense is standard across the range, and one detail keeps appearing in owner reviews: physical buttons for the climate control, not buried 3 menus deep in a touchscreen. People love it far more than you would expect. And because it shares so many parts with the RAV4 and Corolla, any independent mechanic who knows Toyotas can service it.
You do not need a dealership for routine maintenance, and that is thousands saved over the life of the car. A 99 out of 100 basically means one thing: buy this car and stop stressing about it. And for a lot of people, that peace of mind is the whole ballgame. And it is worth understanding what a score like this really rewards. Toyota did not earn 99 out of 100 by building something exciting. They earned it by removing every reason for the car to ever let you down, year after year, model after model, until there was almost nothing left to go wrong. That is the entire philosophy of this list distilled into one car. The same story runs through the RAV4 and the NX, 3 vehicles sharing one bulletproof hybrid heart, spreading the same proven engineering across a small SUV, a large SUV, and a full-size sedan. For an Australian buyer, that shared heart is the quiet superpower, because it means a national service network, cheap and plentiful parts, and mechanics in every town who already know the car by heart. When you buy the top of this list, you are not paying for novelty or badge prestige. You are paying for the near certainty that the car will simply keep working through every heatwave, every long haul up the highway, and every school run, for as long as you care to own it. That is the whole promise of this list, and no car delivers it more completely than the Camry Hybrid. So there they are, the 10 most reliable cars you can buy in Australia in 2026. Everyone backed by real owner data from people who actually live with these vehicles. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your car, your kilometers, and your honest opinion down in the comments, because your real-world experience is worth more than any survey. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.